GM. Today's lesson, very relevant. I'm going to talk to you about FOMO. So here we are again. Just this evening, there was a massive turnaround in the Ethereum ETF case after all analysts and commentators and speculators and everyone all saying that Ethereum ETF was going to be rejected this week. The two main guys who give all the news about the Bitcoin ETF came out, two Bloomberg guys, and said that they now raise their odds of an Ethereum ETF approval to 75%. And that was up from 25% that they had said. So obviously a massive change in a very short space of time, and the market just exploded. Ethereum, Uniswap, Lido, any coins that are related to Ethereum or that are considered potential securities, anything that might benefit from an ETH ETF, absolutely ripped. Now, first of all, the price move that's already happened has already happened. So this topic of this lesson is FOMO. You can't catch that move. It's gone. That move happened due to a rapid repricing, algorithms firing on good news, plus shorts having to close, people trying to get long, and it's fastest finger first. So if you're not already long, now is not the time. It doesn't matter if it continues higher right now or not. The time to get long is not an hour later, right? An hour plus after the breaking news when things have pumped 10%, 20%, 30% and left behind large inefficiencies and gaps and areas for consolidation. First thing, I'm going to keep this very relevant to Ethereum. What's happened today is not an approval. It is increasing the odds of an approval. So let's run through some hypotheticals. If the Ethereum ETF doesn't get approved on Thursday, imagine it goes back and gets rejected, right? This whole thing is just going to collapse in your face, right? It'll just completely retrace and go even lower because people will get themselves so hyped up, so long, so over the top that it will just fully retrace. I don't think that'll happen. I think there's probably more likely some truth to this, probably more likely that it gets approved. But you have to consider these facts. Remember back in January, there was fake news about Bitcoin getting an ETF rejected, fake news about it getting approved early, and you saw these wild, crazy wicks in both directions. Don't rule that out. Just like it was unexpected for this news to come out bullish today, it's equally unexpected that it could come out tomorrow. Oh, turns out, nope, actually, there's a rejection probably coming, and it spikes back down. Oh, and then 2 days later, oh no, actually, wait a minute, it's going to get approved. There's psyops at play here as well. There's fake news, there's real news, there's people overreacting on assumptions. Just be aware that you cannot trade based on your emotions in either direction. Now, if you feel FOMO, don't worry. What you need to do is consider the ongoing consequences, right? If this is actually a turnaround and Ethereum ETF is going to get approved, from what I've seen, it's not going to go live right away. There's two types of forms, a 19B4 and an S1. What could happen on Thursday is they approve the 19B4, but until the S1 filings are in and registered and approved, the ETF can't actually trade live. And that would be very bullish because it would delay the process of Ethereum going live, which I think would give us more chance for an extended rally, front running, all of that we saw with Bitcoin. Maybe it takes 2 or 3 months for them to get the forms in, get it all done, get it approved. That would be all good. If that happens, there's no rush to get there's no rush to get into a position now. I'm saying Ethereum might not ever go back down to 3K, right? That might be the bottom. It might well be the bottom. But it doesn't mean it won't have another consolidation at some point where you can get long. The point is, you have not missed the move. Go and look at the ETH BTC chart on the weekly. It's still bearish. The bands are still red. It has not even reclaimed them. It's having a big move, yes. But you can't look at that chart and say, oh no, I've missed the bull market or I've missed my last chance. You've not missed anything. Ethereum went from 4K, pulled back to below 3K. It's now pumped really aggressively to 3,500, probably a little bit too much too soon. Guys, if it's going to trend higher, if this is actually the next leg of the bull market, and it's not just a quick pump that retraces, then Ethereum's going to consolidate and trend up to 4K and above. Bitcoin is going to move towards its range high, not rejecting off 70 like it is currently. Altcoins that are related are going to consolidate, they're going to build bases, they're going to move up. You do not have to panic. You have not missed anything. I want to cast your mind back to October. Let's go back to October. I want you to go to a chart. I want you to go to October 2023, and I want you to go to Bitcoin on the big spike. I believe it was the 16th, but I'll double check here. It was the 23rd, sorry. No, it was the 16th. It was Monday the 16th of October when the fake news came out about Bitcoin ETF approval, right? That spiked Bitcoin up. Everyone got super excited as it hit 31K. It ripped all the way back down to 28. People got super bearish. What happened after? 7 days of consolidation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 days, and then it broke out on the 7th. Regardless of whether this news is real, fake, whatever, the best course of action is not to FOMO in, long or even short, in any direction, after this initial wave. What you want to do is understand, okay, if this is the good news that takes us higher, then I want to buy the next consolidation. If this is not good news, I will know in a few days by how the market reacts. You have time. Structure has broken bullishly on Ethereum. It's broken out above a swing high. A bunch of altcoins have better structures now. Things are sitting up pretty well. But it has left behind big gaps. And almost never, I would go as far as saying never, does impatience pay you. Almost always, those who are patient get rewarded. So, you feel underexposed, you feel like, oh, everything should have gone lower, oh, the market was bearish, oh, I thought it would go down, oh, whatever, that's fine. But you've now got potentially a confirmation that we're going higher. But if it's a true confirmation, then we go higher for months. And if we do go higher for months, let's say the ETFs go on and they go live in September, it's not just meaning that everything goes straight up from here and we never have a pullback. If the ETF approvals come out on Thursday, but they say these won't trade live for 4 months, we're probably going to see pullbacks. People will take profit, they'll consolidate, they'll sell off. The key point is, FOMO gets you nowhere. Another key point is, your system should already have you in positions for moves like this. I'm long Bitcoin from a swing trade for a completely unrelated reason. Because of just the chart, I got long Bitcoin at 67 a few days ago. The charts will tell you when to get in if you build your systems. Ethereum was obviously lagging, but it itself was starting to look bullish. It was starting to move up above its daily bands. It was moving into a nice consolidation above resistance. It was above 3,000. So let it be a lesson again for the next time that this is all in the charts. This did not come from a red candle. We weren't at new lows. We had been trending up off the lows for quite a while. Bitcoin's been up for 2-3 weeks. Ethereum's been compressing, consolidating. You can find these moves before they happen just by finding regular moves. There's a million setups just like the one today. They don't always produce a 15% candle because sometimes the news is more aggressive than others. It's only when you see these crazy moves that you think, oh my God, how could I have predicted that or got in? I'm telling you, I've traded these a million times. The setup on Ethereum is the exact same as a setup that might pump it to 3,200. If this was just a regular day, Ethereum might have pumped to 3,200, not to 3,600. Don't let the fact that a big move happened make you think that there's some magic or something you're missing or something you need to look for or how can I find this or predict that. No one can predict the magnitude of the move. All you can do is set your plans up, your processes up and take your trades. If you now think that Ethereum is set for a period of outperformance, then you should be looking at the ETH BTC chart and you should be trading it on a high time frame. Remember, there have been many pumps in Ethereum this cycle. Every one of them has failed against Bitcoin. This could be the one that sets the bottom. But if it does, ETH BTC has been in a downtrend against Bitcoin. So ETH's been in a downtrend against Bitcoin since February 2023. Okay? No, since September of 2022 was the last peak. So that is 18 months. It's 18 months it's been going down. So do you think that this all ends today if you don't get max long? No. If ETH goes into an uptrend against Bitcoin, it's going to last for weeks, maybe months. It's not going to last for a one day. And again, so one of the big things with FOMO as well is apply the logic. If you think the trend is now becoming bullish, then why is there a rush to get in straight away? Surely you would only have to FOMO in if you thought it was going to end really soon, right? You're like, oh, it's going to pump a little bit more and then it's over, so I have to get in. It's got like one more day left. But if you think that this can be multi-week, then where's the rush? Why are you stressing? Why are you panicking? Why are you so keen to get in? Remember, it's just your brain playing tricks on you. It's your emotions. This is how the market works. You see the move. You see everyone get excited. You see the people on Twitter who were long, because obviously no one shares their losses, they only share their wins. You're like, why was I not in? You weren't in for a million different reasons. Sometimes you long something and it pumps right away. Sometimes you think, oh, I'll long that looks good, I'll do it later. You log off for a minute and fucking boom, away it goes. I've had both of those examples. Two examples about combating FOMO. One that worked, one that didn't. I closed a Bitcoin short hedge last year, if you remember, in October, about 2 hours before the massive pump. So I'm long Bitcoin, I own loads of spot Bitcoin. I had hedged it short at like 27 or 28k, expecting we could potentially go lower. Then price came up to that level, to 27, 28k. And by the way it was moving up, my system said, okay, Bitcoin's showing strength. I'm going to close that short and just go back to fully spot long. What happened? Not 2 hours later, we had the fake news pump and Bitcoin just blasted. Or not the fake news, sorry, the real news. And Bitcoin just blasted out to 34k. And I closed that short only hours before it. And I had no knowledge of the news or the breakout coming. That was fortunate timing because I followed my system. Another example, WorldCoin. There was a move on WorldCoin a few months ago where, and this is, you might see the joke, you guys make the joke, many of you will have heard it and not understood it. There's a joke that whenever I take a shower, the market pumps. I'll tell you why that exists. I was trading WorldCoin one day, or I was looking at WorldCoin. One morning, I was looking at WorldCoin and I thought, this is setting up perfectly. For one of my systems, it's setting up perfectly for a breakout. And I was like, okay, I'll go and have a shower, I'll come back. Because the system's based on 5-minute, 15-minute candles. I was like, I'll let another couple of candles close, I'll have a shower, I'll come back. I went to the shower, I came back 10 minutes later, no more than 10 minutes later, and it had pumped 40%. And I missed the entire move. And the FOMO I felt, the anger I felt, was fucking unreal. It doesn't matter how long you've been trading. Something like that will always annoy you. It will always make your brain think, shit. Because immediately what my brain thought was, shit, you were right. You need to get in. You need to get long because it's going to keep going. And it didn't keep going. That was very near the top. But I didn't get in because my process said, get in lower. Don't get in fucking 30% higher because the whole point of your trade was to be in before that. If you're not in, you're not in. There's always another trade. Another one will always come around. The market moves every second of every day. There's opportunities aplenty. And back to today, if you do think this is actually a big move for the market, guess what? It's not going to stop right now. You have time. You can get positioned. If you're looking about getting positioned, do your research, plan your trades, have your invalidation, get your process, stick to spot, don't use leverage, because there could be some nasty wicks in the next few days or weeks as people try to get overly long, and you'll be fine.